Hello, my name is Saizan, and today I'm going to do an artist manager presentation about Peter Grant, perhaps one of the most iconic faces in music management. Here is a bit of a personal background as well as a career background for Peter Grant. He lived from 1935 to 1995 and worked as a sheet metal factory employee as well as a photographer and a wrestler at one point before joining the music industry. He was hired by Don Arden in 1963, and Don Arden was also another iconic face in the music industry, and he is the father of Sharon Osbourne. Peter Grant worked with various artists, including Chuck Berry, Gene Vincent, and the Animals. And after going alone and managing artists, Grant eventually managed the Yardbirds, who were touring but struggling to bring in revenue at the time. Grant quickly turned the situation around, but unfortunately, the Yardbirds split regardless. With one door closing, another door opened. Grant and guitarist Jimmy Page from the Yardbirds worked to form a new band. What was initially known as the New Yardbirds later became known as Led Zeppelin. Grant was able to negotiate great terms for Led Zeppelin with a record label, and this in turn led to a huge amount of success and a connected bond between Grant and the members of Led Zeppelin. Grant shared a passion for music with Led Zeppelin and was committed to them every step of the way. That resulted in Led Zeppelin's undying trust of Grant. The friendship between the two parties led to huge success, but involved heavy drugs and alcohol in the process. Unfortunately, this led to the death of John Bonham in 1980 by alcohol abuse, and John Bonham was the drummer of Led Zeppelin. This understandably hit the band and Grant hard, and sadly, the huge success ended there. When it comes to Grant's management style, I believe this quote describes it best. Equal parts savvy businessman and savage beast, a mother hen to his clients and a bully to those who crossed them. He put Led Zeppelin before anything else and got that message across the band as well as everyone else. He was constantly alongside Led Zeppelin while on tour, which helped create an unbreakable bond with the band. Essentially, he wasn't just behind the scenes, but a direct part of the band. Grant had an aggressive and assertive negotiation approach. He wanted the best for his clients and did whatever he deemed necessary to do just that. He often sacrificed short term publicity boosts for long term appeal, turning down TV spots and opportunities for Led Zeppelin to produce singles in preference to tours and albums because of his confidence in Led Zeppelin to maintain the revenue and success. In other words, he wasn't fixing what wasn't broken. Here are some key takeaways from Grant's management style and approach with Led Zeppelin. For one, he showed that putting clients first could go a long way. Trust and loyalty works both ways. Grant showed he was committed to Led Zeppelin from the very start and played a huge role into growing the band into one of the most iconic artists at the time. This earned Grant a spot into Led Zeppelin's inner circle, making it easier to discuss all plans and concerns during their time together. Grant also shared interests and his passion for music with his clients, which helped negotiations and helped drive ticket sales. Since Grant was perhaps the number one fan of Led Zeppelin, he knew the target market and knew how to reach them. Being protective over clients is also another key takeaway, but I think this is more from a legal standpoint. Grant was very protective, no doubt, but he often resorted to violence. He literally beat people up if he thought they were crossing his clients. Resorting to illegal measures is inadvisable, especially today, where if you do act with violence, it will be all over social media, and chances are someone would have it all recorded. And finally, I believe it's important to take things in moderation to drive success as long as possible. Grant and Led Zeppelin shared success with each other and had a fun time doing so. Unfortunately, drugs and alcohol cut that success short. It's best to keep things in moderation and to control success, but not be consumed by it. The potential was endless for Grant and Led Zeppelin. And still, Grant went down as one of the most iconic artist managers around, and Led Zeppelin became one of the more well recognized bands out there to this day. And that is it. Thank you for listening, and here are my references.